Welcome to the Mid-Afternoon Show with your hosts, Daniel Boschdevoy and Cora Kendall.
Thank you for tuning in to another episode of the Mid-Afternoon Show. We have a lot to break down. Let's get into it.
Recently, an Instagram account surfaced highlighting bad parking here at Sydney High School.
The account owner remains anonymous, and some have voiced concerns even though the license plates are blurred out in the posts.
Others approve of the account since it encourages good parking through fear of being featured on the account.
In other news, the high school finals schedule was leaked earlier this month.
Some have received it well, and others have criticized the schedule for the variety of issues it causes.
The new schedule gets rid of the 70-minute periods and replaces them with 2 days of just normal scheduling.
I really couldn't have thought of a better way to allow for cheating. I mean, come on, 2 whole days for one test?
Plus, with a basketball game on the second day, players will have to either make up the test early or teachers will be forced to move the first test to Friday of the previous week.
Yeah, that'll be fantastic. A whole weekend to share answers.
Well, I think we have spent enough time on this. In other news, the winter sports season just started.
All the guys know what that means. The locker room is back to smelling like stinky cheese feet. The Mid-Afternoon Show was able to conduct a poll in order to determine the cause of the stink.
As you can see in the first poll, voters disregarded the available options and voted for one poor, stinky freshman.
It is also worth noting that there are way more tallies than lockers, which raises some concerns about the integrity of locker room polls.
The second poll, however, revealed that the wrestlers are responsible for the stinky locker room.
Here to comment is head wrestling coach, Mr. Bo McConnell.
Thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, you bet. Do you have anything to say in the defense of the wrestlers? I mean, surely you've gotten a whiff of some basketball shoes, and I can't say that they're any better.
No, the wrestlers definitely stink more. There's a lot more sweat. If you really want to get a sense of it, come up to the wrestling room about 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Wringing out shirts and sweat everywhere, and
I mean,
yeah, it's
more sweat means more hard work, though.
yeah, a lot more hard work. I mean, I wasn't gonna say it, but wrestlers might be putting in more work.
There you go.
So, how is the wrestling season going so far?
Really well. The girls are off to a really great start. Finished second this last weekend in Stapleton. The girls invite, the boys are improving each week, conditioning getting better, just trying to avoid sickness and injuries and all that. So far so good.
Are the girls as stinky as the boys?
No, not at all. I don't think so. I'm not in that locker room. But
Yeah. You've gotten a lot of attention in your shop classes for your copy of Ron Swanson's Pyramid of Greatness. I would like to highlight the protein row. What are your thoughts on this Pyramid of Greatness?
I agree with it. I don't eat fish, and it's more of a vegetable, and I stay away from it. If you could probably rank cow above chicken, but it's pretty, pretty straightforward. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
There's a reason that it's posted. A lot of valuable information.
Yeah.
Okay, well, we thought that we should let you exercise your creativity by filling out your own Pyramid of Greatness.
So the rules here are simple. Cora and I will take turns reading the prompts off here to the left, and then you will fill in the blanks. So I'll get started with the bottom one.
Oh boy.
Attire. Blank and blank are acceptable.
Tucked in shirts and leather shoes. Stay away from dudes. Those are just socially acceptable slippers.
Okay, number 2, blank avoidance.
Wow. The Bachelor? Stay away from that.
All right, number 3, woodworking for the blank in the world.
The Creative.
Okay.
For those that can't draw.
Number 4, always bring blank to class.
A pencil.
All right.
Jack.
Number 5, blank. You gotta give it to get it.
Respect would be the obvious one. Probably. I respect you more if you bring food to class for me, but
Okay, and finally, don't blank. That's for freshmen.
Where do you start? Leave your AirPods out. Don't be late. I mean, it's a lot. There's a lot of growing in that freshman year.
Awesome.
Well, thank you for joining us today and sharing your greatness.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you, Mr. McConnell. See ya. Now, please welcome our next guest, Mr. Brayden Shaw.
Thank you for joining us today, Brayden.
Yeah, no problem.
How's your senior year going so far?
It's going.
It's going.
So earlier in the year, you were part of the cross-country team. Could you explain your experience there?
You know, I just chose the easy way out of school. Just decided to be a manager. Just got out of school, sprayed the cross-country team, and hey, made state that second.
Very
So
good.
that's all me.
You're also on the track team. How was last year, and what are you looking forward to this year?
You know, last year was pretty good. Many improvements. This year, drop and pole vault. I would like to pursue my career in high jump and shot put. So excited for that.
Awesome.
Have you started making any senior plans?
You know, my senior plans are sleeping. That's about it.
Yeah. You recently appeared in The Toilet Paper,
Yeah.
and it says here that you are, quote, most excited for winning games this upcoming basketball season.
Yeah.
So just a quick recap on the historical records of the team the last 3 years: 5-17, 3-20, and 12-12.
If we plot those performances on a graph, we get this. Now, judging by this graph, we can expect a win-loss ratio of 2.8 this year. So, how many games exactly are you excited to win?
You know, as much as possible. The ones in the past, that's not me. You know,
Yeah.
sophomore year, didn't play varsity, so you can't blame me for that
That's
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that makes sense.
But yeah, I'm just excited to win against our rivals, any other team that's not us.
I see. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you for joining us today.
Yeah, no problem.
Thank you.
Hands are sweaty.
Thanks.
Now, before we get on to our final guest, we have a very special segment called "You Have to Stop."
Daniel and I will we'll take turns reading cards submitted that voice some of the biggest problems that need to stop here at Sydney High.
Let's begin. Number 1, all the cheating has got to stop. Freshmen, sophomores, your homework is so easy. Just do it, okay? Juniors, all your answers are online. Not even joking, just go study. And seniors, you barely even have any classes to begin with.
Second, you have to stop leaving your lockers in the locker room unlocked. One of these days, someone is going to teach you a hard lesson. I mean, how hard is it to memorize 3 numbers?
All right, next one. Freshmen, you gotta stop walking around like gangsters, okay? It was kind of cute the first couple of days, but it's been 18 weeks. Come on, give it a rest. It's gotta stop.
Okay. Not gonna name any names, but if you have to stop faking injuries. There's only so much a rap can do. Don't tell me about your sport. No one cares.
And finally, you have to stop vaping in the locker room. When there's like 6 of you around the corner by the urinal, all passing it around, it's pretty obvious. If someone walked through, you would all be busted. Freshmen, you know those seniors that walk up the stairs and they're wheezing when they get to the top? That's gonna be you. You gotta stop.
Finally, you have to stop stealing hall passes. Seniors, I know you thought it would be funny to put them on the Christmas tree, but apparently it's not. You have to stop stealing them.
Well, I thought that was good. We
Yeah.
get those problems solved. It's good. Good high
We'll have
school.
a great high school
All right,
here.
now please welcome our final guest, Ms. Hurt. Ms. Hurt, thank you for coming in. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
How is your year at Sydney High School going so far?
Fantastic. I enjoy it.
A few episodes ago, we mentioned your confrontation in the lunchroom with a runaway student. We wanted to hear directly from you. What exactly happened?
I was just being proactive in preventing any injury,
I
so
see.
I intervened.
How does it feel to be on constant guard at lunch?
Doesn't bother me a bit. Let me say this. Watching high schoolers and then watching kindergartners, though there is some similarities, I do enjoy the high schoolers more. They make less of a mess, honestly.
They definitely run faster, though.
Yeah, and they don't want any hugs from me during lunch, which I appreciate.
All right, if you could change one thing about Sydney High School, what would it be?
Oh gosh. Honestly, in everything that kids do and people do, just be a good person.
Yeah.
So,
Okay, we asked for random questions from the audience and we only had one sent in.
Strange. Here it is. What are your thoughts on backpacks?
I have actually answered this in multiple individual conversations. And as I've told some of those kids, my role at Sydney High School is to enforce the policies and procedures that are in place, the handbook.
Yeah.
So it's in the handbook that we're not supposed to have backpacks. So I'm going to continuously remind kids not to have backpacks.
So not really a personal thing, just doing
Not
your job.
necessarily. However, when I taught at the high school and backpacks were allowed, that we've had teachers trip on them, including myself. Some of us aren't as graceful as others.
Yeah.
So
Well, do you see a day where we might once again get to use our backpacks?
maybe, but I think kids probably just need to follow the handbook that's in place and be on time so you have time to go to your lockers and
Yeah.
be a little more organized.
I see. Well, thanks for coming on, Miss
Yeah, thanks.
Thanks for tuning in, Sydney High School, and as always,
Have a great mid-afternoon.